All right. Welcome to Inside the Grind podcast, the podcast for people building real coffee shops. Every episode, we sit down with someone who's deep in the day to day, hiring, fixing, worrying, making hard choices, and still showing up to serve. These are honest stories from founders in the thick of it. No fluff, no ego, just the real grind and what's getting them through. If you're building something on your blog, this one's for you. Brought to you by Coffee Futures Fund. I know you do a podcast, Dawn's Table, right? So that's cool. I was listening to the first um, video where you shared about your story, and one thing that I really loved that you said was about entrepreneurs. You are like an entrepreneur who comes up with who has so many ideas, and you want to sort of get excited by it, but you need a team. You need people to really help you bring those ideas to life, right? So I want to ask you about your people behind the scenes. Who are these people behind the scenes? How do they work with you? How did you, in fact, find them in the first place? And how to have you sort of, give me the whole picture in terms of right from bringing this team together to getting this common story around this team so that everyone's sort of in the same phase, thinking the same way, feeling the same way. So behind the scenes, people, how did you do
Yeah.
it?
That's a good question. I think it's really hard to build a team nowadays. I think it's really hard. It's just like managing a retail post COVID. I think that most people during COVID, if not after COVID, were just like, I just want to do my own thing. And I think
Yeah.
it's really hard to find people that are willing to work hard and be like, I'm going to help you achieve your dream. And on my podcast, I had a guest named Nick Dio, who works with Gary Vee and VaynerMedia. And he said something that was really dope. And I still think about it to this day. He said that Gary Vee's dreams are so big that he has over 2,000 employees, and every single one of those 2,000 employees' dreams fit within Gary's big ass dream. So I was just like, wow, like you really got a dream so big that these people's dreams could fit within yours. And I was just like, that is absolutely insane, but I kind of like it. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's interesting, because everybody has their own personal goals and career goals they want to hit, life goals they want to hit. And I think that it's like, how do you find that balance of like, I'm gonna help you get to where you want to get to, and you're gonna help me get to where I'm gonna get to. But if it's just a one-sided situation, it's probably not gonna go that far. So I think it's understanding. That's the most important part, is really understanding what people want to get out of this, because everything is an exchange. You know what I mean? There's money, and then there's like emotions and time. So I think that is understanding what we all want to get out of this. And I think that, me being myself, I started this at like 21, 22, really at 21. So it's like you learn a lot as you go. And it's been a lot of learning, just people, just community and people and understanding things. Like I was so young, what I mean? I'm still learning to this day. Like I'm growing up, you know what I mean? Like I'm in my 20s still. I'm 28 right now. So I always tell people, like, just be patient, because as much as you're learning, I'm learning with you. You know what I mean? Like most of my team members are older than me, so it's always interesting, like managing people that are now like younger than me, because typically it's the other way around. You know what I mean? And it's kind of weird when somebody who's young is telling you what to do. And I really don't care about age. It's just not everybody receives it the same way. So I think the most important part is really understanding what we all want to get out of this. And most people that I have worked with and work with, I just met during my journey. And I think that we meet and we connect because we're all passionate about the same things. You know what I mean? If you're at SEA Expo, you're passionate about coffee in some way, shape, or form. Or you may be passionate about the milk that goes into the coffee, or you're passionate about the syrup that goes into the coffee, or you're passionate about the cup that the coffee goes in, or the machine that, you know what I mean? So it's just like, it's all about what spaces are you in to find these kinds of people. You know what I mean? Or sometimes you just bump into people in your neighborhood, and you're just chatting about stuff. So it's I think for me, it's the same thing, man. Just going with the flow and trying to really understand how to build this thing. You know what I mean? Because it's not easy. It's really hard doing all this by yourself. I think we've all done it by ourselves, and then we look back like, man, that was crazy. I did do all that work. You know what I mean? So I think that's the most important part, man. Understanding what everybody wants to get out of the relationship, and then I think that's what makes it the more fruitful for everybody.
You think you're a good leader?
I think I'm an interesting one. I think that I'm not a micromanager, and I think that that works very well for some people, and it doesn't work at all for some others. because I don't like to be on top of people, and I'm not. I don't like to be on top of people because I never like people on top of me. When I used to work for somebody, I never enjoyed the micromanagement. I never enjoyed people being on top of me like aggressively. So I'm not like that because I don't like that. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, here's the task. You say you got it. You know what I mean? And then some people love that because they're like, wow, like this guy's letting me take initiative and do my own thinking and stuff like that. And some people are not that great with that. So I think it's me finding a balance of like how I like to work and understanding that there's ways I like to work and then there's ways that other people work because of who they are and how they grew up and what their experiences are. So I think that for the most part, I'm pretty nice. I think sometimes I'm like too nice. I'm like too nice. I'm like very forgiving. I'm just like, oh, don't worry about it. But I think that over time, that could be a good and a bad thing at the same time. Yeah, because I'm like,
That's what I want.
I'm not an HR person. I'm just Hector, the guy who opened up a coffee company, and I'm just trying to just make sure we're all happy and going towards this goal. That's it, you know.
That's cool. Okay. So, another thing that you said in one of your videos was about the street smarts and the book smarts,
Mhm.
right? So, I want to ask you that if you were to zoom in your day-to-day today, right? Give me an example of the street smarts that showed in your day-to-day and one book smart that you did something that showed that was an example of a book smart decision or work that you did in your coffee shop. Do you have any examples?
Street smarts, street smarts. That's a good one. That's a good one. An example of that. You know what's funny about me in videos? When I say something is because I'm living it in real time. And like there's a prime example in that moment. I just probably didn't speak about it. But I can't think of anything right now because that was like a year ago. What could it be? What could it be? I mean, I think that there's qualities you pick up from street smart experiences. There's qualities you pick up, like not giving up, finding an alternative, always trying to find the best situation for yourself. Like it's just something you might have learned out of hanging out on the block or being in a certain neighborhood. But I think that is the principles that it teaches you that you carry on, you know. And it's ain't nobody gonna play you. You know what I mean? Like there's people who just think they're gonna get off on you, and it's like that's something you learn in the streets. Like you know what I mean? Like you're not about to play me. So it's like how do we manage that in a corporate setting in a professional way where this is really about money and people and things like that. But I think it's really taking what you learn in these environments as a principle and then carrying it into the corporate world. You know, I think that's the biggest thing. I can't think of a prime example right now. I can't think of a prime example right now. But in terms of book smarts, I think that is really understanding, you know, things that you learn. Like I've sold stuff on the street before. Like I've given out flyers. I've sold pots and pans. I've sold candy on the train. You know what I mean? Like I've done the whole in public, in the street, just trying to sell something. But then there's like the actual stuff that you study in school. You know what I mean? So I could be on a train like, hey, I have a box of fruit snacks. Would anybody like to buy one for $1? That's like an elevator pitch, but it's for a fruit snack. You know what I mean? So it's like you're doing something, but you don't really know the terms for these things. And then there's things you learn in school that you could apply to what you already were doing from your experiences, you know, like marketing decks and understanding and the business plans and all this stuff. Like how many businesses in our neighborhoods started without a business plan? You know what I mean? And it's like that's the book smart that I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like having a GPS roadmap. This is the direction that we're going in. Year one, year two, these are our products, these are the margins. Some people don't even understand that. You know what I mean? So it's like that's the book smarts that I'm talking about. But we have that street drive, street hustle, the street etiquette, the qualities you pick up within that. And then I think that if you marry it to the right education, I think that we could get a little further. And I think that knowing the book smarts and knowing the margins and having a business plan is still just as hard. You know what I mean? It's just like you just have a little bit more guidance. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, money's money and a rainy day is a rainy day. Like there's nothing you could do about a rainy day with a business plan. We both gonna get affected whether you have one or not. So I think that it's about marrying the two and finding that balance.
Yeah, yeah. Well said. Well said. Because you're right. I think street smartness is just like you said. It's about some attributes that you develop in yourself, right? These are your skills. These are your strengths. Just get stuff done, and then how do you do it in a smarter manner, and I think possibly not even smarter, but just get things done in a way that is just functional and moving us forward. I think that's the beauty of it. And then, uh, yeah, you're right. I think you said it really well because I really liked what you said about book smartness in terms of you begin to understand things. You are doing things and now you understand those things. And then you marry those things together. On that note, where are you seeing? What is the next phase for you for the coffee shop? What's most exciting in the next phase of your journey?
I think well, the theme for this year, I think that I don't really, it's not like I have a theme every year, but I don't know. This year I woke up um on some like I just want to maintain. Like I don't really, I've been doing this a few years now, and like I just think I don't really care about growth right now. Like it's gonna
Yeah.
happen, and inevitably it's gonna happen. It's already happening. But I think that I don't want to make another huge decision like last year. Like we did it, we increased our B2B probably by double, or triple or quadruple. I don't know, but I haven't done the numbers yet. But it just grew exponentially. And then the coffee shop happened basically at the same time. That was crazy. You know what I mean? Because it just like 10x everything for the retail side. And I think that for me, it's maintaining what I've built, like maintaining B2B,
Yeah.
maintaining the coffee shop, creating SOPs, creating a good team structure where honestly, if they don't need me, that'll be great. But I'm more than happy to help to make something sustainable, self-sustainable, and I could focus on something bigger and stuff like that. I also created a podcast a year and a half ago, and I haven't done an episode since the day I opened up that coffee shop. You know what I mean? So now I'm actually building a studio. That's why you see this thing back here. Like I'm building a
I see.
podcast studio in here, and I'm gonna kickstart that in a month or 2 or 3. But getting back to that, so my theme for this year is really maintaining what I've built, going back into the podcasting world because I really enjoyed it, and I think that I meet a lot of great people who I have really dope conversations with. We have a lot of really cool people that just walk into the little coffee shop that I'm like, how did this person hear about us? You know what I mean? So it's really cool the people that walk in, and I think I want to translate that to the podcast too. Maintaining all these different things, maintaining our B2B, e-commerce, maintaining the coffee shop, learning from everything that we've been experiencing, and then next year doing something like, all right, cool. What's the next big thing? But
Yeah.
my idea right now is just maintaining everything, and just making it more stable, making it more steady, understanding things very well. I think that when you're running 100 miles per hour, like you don't really stop to look, you just kind of running. It's like Michael Phelps in that picture when he was swimming. He's just like looking forward, and the other guy next to him is like looking at him
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like that picture says a lot. I'm just trying to do a combination of both. I'm like, how do I run and then kind of slow down at the same time? And just kind of manage what I've already built. Because at the end of the day, I think that I've been doing it so long that at this point, some opportunities present themselves, opposed to you seeking opportunities, committing to more. Because I think that there's only 24 hours in a day, and you got to sleep like 8 of those, and shower, and get ready, and commute, and park your car, and eat. So it's like, and clean. And so there's not really that much time in a day. So it's like, how do you manage that successfully and not stretch yourself too thin?
Yeah. That's cool. Well, all right. So let's go back full circle, back to your coffee shop and back to where we started, which is people, which is creating that connection. You opened the coffee shop. You never dreamt of opening a coffee shop, but you wanted to open finally because people wanted to reach you. You wanted to reach people and you wanted to create that experience in that physical space. So today, if a customer is coming to your coffee shop, what do they tell me about their feeling? I think I'm more about feeling and what you're really experiencing than what you're really thinking. Experience is what really defines everything. So when they enter the coffee shop, what are they feeling? And when they leave the coffee shop, what are they feeling? And how's that experience? How have you built that experience? Tell me more about that, please. From a customer's point of view, your customer's point of view.
I think the concept is pretty open. I think that I designed it to be very open, kind of like you can see everything. Like we have a mod bar, so you kind of see everything we do on the counter. There's no box on the counter. The barista can't hide behind the machine. It's pretty much in your face. Like everything we do, you're just seeing it. And I think that we're removing that layer of that barrier, and it's just me and you face to face. The bar is like down here, and this is me and you. I think that MySpace creates like conversations. You know what I mean? From the things on the wall to the flag to the way we decorated to the way we painted the walls to the music you hear playing out of the vinyl record in the corner. It's just like all these things spark some type of emotion, whether it's making you want to dance, or it's making you want to go on vacation, or it's making you want to drink some more coffee. I think it's an experience of music and culture and just like having something really good. You know what I mean? I think that we do our best with every single cup that we brew. I take coffee very seriously because I take it very seriously, but I also don't at the same time. So there's two ways to that, and I'll explain it. I take it very seriously because to me, it's like every single person that walks in, it's like a privilege. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow, this person really, out of anywhere they could have went, they came here. You know what I mean? And I take pride in that. You know what I mean? And my team does. And I think that it's always good to remind your team, like, yo, like, if it wasn't for these people, like, none of this would exist. Like, I know you could probably get a job somewhere else, but you probably wouldn't have a job right now. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's just remembering, like, without these people walking in, it's none of it will really be possible. You know what I mean? Especially the people that walk in every single day. There's people who walk in every single day, and that's the same thing they do every single time. Like that, those are the people that help us stay afloat. You know what I mean? That help us be here another month, another year. I think it's really understanding that. And then at the same time, I think that sometimes coffee's a little too serious. Like sometimes people want to pour and they want to put milk in it. I'm like, sure, but if you want, try it black. If not, I don't care. You know what I mean, I don't care that you put milk in the $12 pour over and the $15 pour over. That's what you want to do. That's just what you want to do. I don't care. I respect it. Like I'm not gonna tell you what to do with your. So I think that is taking coffee seriously and in respect for every single person, but then also understanding that people have taste, and if you want to educate people, you educate them, and then they make their choices from there. So I think that's the idea, man. People walk in, it's just feeling that warmth, feeling the space, feeling the generosity, the culture, feeling like you're somewhere else, but you're really in New York, and then just transporting yourself somewhere with the coffee and the food and the flavors. I think that's kind of what we go for. But it's a very simple concept, but it's really dope. It's really dope, man. But I try to go as simple as possible to make it digestible.
And you sell it well, and you do a great job because now I want to do nothing but visit your coffee shop when I'm in the city. Oh, you got me. That's cool. That's good. Well, I
Thank you.
guess that's about it. It was a beautiful conversation. Great, awesome. Anything else that you'd like to talk about, want to bring out in this conversation?
I just think that people, if it's one thing, it's been my thing for a few months. Is just me telling people to just go to their local spot. You know what I mean? No matter where you are in the world, just support your local spots. Support your local spots. It's a lot of work. It's not easy, and I think that anybody could always use somebody's support. So it's going to your local spot, spreading the word, letting people know. I think that's my only advice or thing that I always tell people is like just go support your local spot and help them stay afloat, help them do their thing. I think that we all do a great job. Some of us have more experience than others, but everybody's just doing their best. And I think that the world is up and down and I have so many twists that just go support your local spot.
That's beautifully said stuff, man. That's good. Are you feeling, talking about support, are you feeling supported? How are you feeling in terms of in your seat? Do you feel supported with all the people, all the team that you have?
I think for the most part, yeah. I feel like I just had deja vu right now. But I feel like for the most part, yeah. Like 60%, yeah. But I think 40% of being who I am or being the owner is just, there's nothing you can do because ultimately all the responsibility ends at you. Anytime something goes wrong, it ends at you. Anytime something's good, it's rewarded to you. But also when something's negative, it ends at you. And I think that unless you have barriers of management to like, it's like what do you call those things in the ocean? They put like wave barriers, something like that.
Yeah.
There's waves
Boogies?
coming in. It's something that kind of blocks the waves from becoming so aggressive by the time they get to the shore. But yeah, I think if you don't have that sense of the buffer, the barriers, there's nothing you can do. And I feel like for me, being where I'm at and it being so young, I haven't had that barrier yet. So things just hit my desk all day long. And it's interesting, I'm learning so much. But I think for me, it's understanding how I could make this easier for me, being that so much lands on my desk. Because I think you can have all the support that you want, but at the end of the day, being the owner, you always gonna have a lot of people to be responsible for. So there's
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. It's big. Yeah, that's true. Well, cool that you at least have 60% of the support. And I'm here, man. I'm here for whatever you need. happy to help you in all the ways we can. But yeah, cheers. It's good.
Yeah, man, thank you.
That's it for this episode of Inside the Grind. If something here helped, make sure to subscribe and pass it to another coffee shop or a friend. We all need each other more than we admit. To learn more or join the community, head to coffeefutures.fun. This movement is just getting started. Until next time, keep growing. Your shop matters more than you know.